Aside from so I get to do stuff on Friday. Saturdays with Kyle Berger and Mario come on Saturday, so I couldn't get to it.
Go at a faster clip than I used to be able to do that, but I can't.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to begin. Thank you.
See, that's the thing about this ring.
Y'all ready? My name is Jack Draper, Mayor of the City of Anniston, Alabama. I'm here with Tim Hodges of the Calhoun County Commission. Just want to let everyone know where we are right now. Earlier today, it was announced that the Department of Health and Human Services and FEMA have agreed to use the FEMA Center for Domestic Preparedness in Anniston as a place for some of the passengers from the Diamond Princess to stay. The City of Anniston, EMA, and the Calhoun County Commission were made aware of this decision around 12 o'clock today in an email from the Department of Health and Human Services. What we know right now is these are some of the passengers who the federal government evacuated from the Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan after some of those passengers did test positive for the coronavirus. At this time, we would like to make it explicitly clear, though, that the federal government has assured us that these patients will not have any impact on the local community and that no one is at risk. All patients will be kept on site at the installation. In the city of Anniston, the EMA, the County Commission, we're all working alongside our federal and state partners to ensure the safety of all of our citizens. Please know that although passengers who will be here in Anniston did test positive for the coronavirus, at this time they are either symptom-free or experiencing mild flu-like symptoms. Any of the evacuees who become critically ill will be transported to pre-identified hospitals. I don't know what hospitals those are at this point. Again, I want to stress that this is an agreement between the Department of Health and Human Services and FEMA. And as part of that agreement, the CDP will provide the housing, and Health and Human Services will provide the medical care and any other ancillary support services that are ultimately needed. Passengers will be quarantined and will be in a separate area from the center's training participants and will remain in the center until they're actually medically cleared. This center, as we know, is a unique facility, and the federal government has deemed it equipped to deal with these patients. Finally, I just want to make clear that this was a decision by the federal government and the federal government solely. Having said that, we as a city, the County Commission and EMA are working closely alongside our state and federal partners to disseminate information as we get it. But it is important to stress and emphasize that the federal government has assured us that these patients will not have an impact on the local community. I will be happy to take any questions, but I'll tell you that I have just shared with y'all everything that we know at this point. It is an evolving, factual situation, and as we develop information, we will immediately provide it.
Are they
Yes, ma'am.
here already, or are they being transported here?
We don't think they're here already, no ma'am. It's
Okay.
our understanding that they would be transported, probably next week.
Do you have a handle on how many people will be brought here?
Do not.
Will medical staff be on site with them, staying with them to monitor their?
We've not been provided information by Health and Human Services or FEMA with respect to the actual care of the patients on that.
Talk about just your reaction when you got the phone call. I'm sure this was not maybe something you were expecting.
Well, we were surprised. We had no idea. Quite frankly, I think a lot of people had no idea. This was solely agreed upon and determined by two federal agencies. We were not consulted in any fashion.
Are there other facilities like this around the country that other patients may be taken to, or is this the only one?
That we don't know either.
And what does your office have to do to prepare for something like this, if anything?
Well, we're trying to learn that now, quite frankly. I mean, we just learned about this 3 or 4 hours ago. So, again, we were taken completely by surprise. We just want to do everything we can, working with the county, working with the state, working with our congressional delegation to ensure that this community remains safe.
Do you know how long they'll be kept here?
Do not.
And these,
Tim, you got it.
Jack, if I could ask you one real quick.
Yeah.
Something that our readers are asking about is why Anniston, and, you know, obviously that's not something that the city chose, but something that we may want to talk to, or address the idea of is that, we may have been chosen because we were the best for this. In your experience, you know, what do you know about the facility and the training people have there?
Well, I mean, I can't speak to that, but I do know that it is a unique facility. People from all over the country come here to train for disasters of many types.
Mhm.
But specifically with respect to the coronavirus, again, I mean, we have no idea.
Sure.
We really don't.
My name is Tim Hodges. I'm the chairman of the County Commission, and we, along with Jack, were notified earlier this morning, and not really calling to ask permission. They were simply letting us know what their plans would be. This hadn't gone into effect. They hadn't transported anybody as of yet. Our EMA director, Michael Barton, he's on his way back from Montgomery. Miles Chandler's here representing the EMA. Of course, they're getting overwhelmed. We're getting a lot of calls from people, from schools. You know, it's just completely caught everybody off guard. So to say anybody's prepared, the CDP is a world-class facility. I wouldn't doubt their ability at all, but I don't believe this area is prepared to take this on for the time. So, Michael Barton, our EMA director, has spoken with Mike Rogers in the last few minutes. He's out of town, but his office is issuing a statement right away that he's opposed to it, that this was not, they did not run it through his office. This was the first he had heard about it also. So he says the White House is also in not support of moving them down here. So I guess that'll play out. But something that I have mentioned and I suggested to our county attorney, Gloria Floyd, is that Friday afternoon in Costa Mesa, California, there's a facility, Fairview. You can Google it up and see. Their plan was to take some of these passengers and locate them there. And the city of Costa Mesa filed an injunction Friday afternoon in federal court. The judge issued a stop order, basically a temporary restraining order, until they have a hearing Monday. So that may be something that we need to do on behalf of not only Anniston, but the entire county, because whether this happens or not, or we can stop it or not, it can't happen this quick. I mean, you do something over the weekend when nobody's working and people are hard to get in touch with, a lot of officials are out of town, and you can't just say, hey, this is what's gonna happen. There's a school, Sacred Heart School, which is right there close to, not to mention all the other schools, children and playgrounds and soccer fields. The CP centers out there. So there's a lot to think about before this happens without getting the proper vetting and Judge Anniston and all the right emergency medical people I can safely say that from what I know at this point, I'm not in support of it. And I can't speak for everybody else in Calhoun County, nor the other commissioners, because we haven't had a chance to really talk about it, other than through our EMA office, which I'm sure, Miles, you're getting plenty of calls. And, I mean, I know I've had enough today of people just wondering what's going on. I mean, how did they just all of a sudden pick up their phone and here's this, you know, these people you've been seeing on this ship for the last 2 weeks, and here you are going to be right here in our backyard. So that's a lot to digest in a few hours. So as far as right now, we're going to be working on our end to try to come up with some ways to at least temporarily stop this, try to get the federal court involved, and then maybe have a chance to get all the parties involved to sit down and be able to take a closer look at this before something happens. That's kind of where we are.
Anything else?
Any questions?
We know that the people that are coming have mild symptoms or no symptoms at all. What about if, they get the full-blown effect? I mean, what hospitals would they be sent to? We've been told they'll be sent to hospitals, but do we know where?
We don't know. All we've been told is what was in the release, predetermined facilities. As to where those facilities are, no idea.
And just to reiterate, I mean, what Tim said, I mean, we are concerned. Obviously, we just learned of this a few hours ago. We are exploring our options now, but I think every member of this community would be concerned and is concerned.
One concern is, we still trying to get over the PCB, the contamination in the city. We are known as a contaminated city. Why would you want to pick a city that already in an uproar with the people already concerned about contamination and
Well, I think that one of the reasons is with the Center for Domestic Preparedness, that's a federal facility.
I
So
understand.
They have more leverage.
And I'm a little upset.
And we'll take comments from the public after the press conference is complete. So if any more news stations have any questions, please, this time, you would ask them, and then afterwards, I would give you, Mr. Ray. Thank you.
He says any questions?
Any more from the meeting? Okay. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you.
This is all that we have, and that we know. You can keep a copy.
Well, but I want to ask some question about, we got a Congressman Rogers, and,
We have not even had time to reach out to them yet. We have.
Well, those are questions I'd like to ask.
No, and we should, but I'm telling you exactly what the mayor and Commissioner Hodges know at the moment. We've not even been able to speak to any higher level officials. This happened to us as quickly as it happened to everyone else today. And as they said, we're trying to figure out what we can do about it. So
you're definitely gonna be trying to fight it?
oh, absolutely. As the mayor and as the commissioner said, we're definitely against it. We're gonna look for ways to address this issue. It's just gonna take a little bit of time because as I said, about the time everyone found out, we found out. Some of us, the EMA, learned from the Anniston Star, and our mayor was informed at noon by the Department of Health and Human Services. And so it was just as quick on you as it was on us. So we need to rally together, work with the higher level officials, figure out what it is that we can do, and we're definitely gonna pursue it.
And I'm hearing that people going around in RMC saying that some people from RMC may see after the patients. If anybody from RMC or anybody from the community gonna be out there and gonna be in and out, that is a concern.
Absolutely, I can't speak to anything regarding RMC this time. So again, we'll have to wait. They will be quarantined at the Center for Domestic Preparedness. They will stay there on their campus. That is as much as we know right now.
And the one that's gonna be treating will stay there also?
Exactly, that's where they're all gonna be. That is as much information as we have at the moment. Thank you. everyone, thank you for coming out this time. The press conference is concluded. I hope you all have a good rest of your afternoon.
Hey, how are you? Working hard this weekend.
So much for relaxing.
Hey, all right.